decision kind of made. I found Papa Smurf has made a trailer that's got a much bigger capacity. So I will load, I believe, I think it has 1,000,000 liters capacity. I know I said in the previous video that that may not really be the most realistic way to do it. But then I thought about it, really, there's only two options really, and that is option number one, oops, bash my trailer, option number one. You know, to just delete it and add the money, but then I really didn't want to have to go and add the money and then find out that I was wrong, that it didn't really have that kind of money capacity, if that makes sense. That money capacity, what on earth am I saying? That capacity of Beetroot. So, you know, I add 600,000, 800,000, 900,000, $1 million, and then I didn't really have that much Beetroot here, which there's no doubt about it. If I had over $1 million in the other one, I'll have over $1 million here. But I thought this was probably the closest way to actually getting it done. So we're gonna do this, and then I'll see you as we're about to go and sell it. I don't think you want to sit here even. Looks like I didn't really do this the right way, but that's fine. Yeah, even if I do it in, you know, time lapse, I don't think you want to sit here for that longer period just to watch a trailer load up. So we'll put you a bit more forward, because that's more real and more in keep with the reach of this machine. Oh, come on, give me a break, stop. And it's gonna give me a headache. There you are. Alright, I'll let him do this and I'll see you when it's done. Well, the first, just a third of the pile is done. Almost done. So this took forever. So imagine how much the other two piles are going to take. But I was wrong about this trailer. It's not 1,000,000 liters. I think it's 10 million liters. Now, we're not really going to. I bought this, so that's why I spent the money in buying this trailer. But I don't think we're going to keep it. Unless it's just going to be like a potato type of thing, where we're going to keep it just for that. Come on, empty up. Okay, so we're gonna set it up now to put it next to the pile. Am I gonna smash my tractor? No, I made it through. Yeah, we're gonna set it up to do this pile. Oh. That's what a smart individual would have done. Let's kind of put it right at the front. So we can kind of do this. Okay, and let's get the tractor, turn him around. And let's see how much have we got in there. So 500,000 liters just from that. So you can imagine that 500,000 liters just from that would be 700. I've got another one, 1.5 million liters of beetroot going on over here. So we're gonna put you about there. Okay. Now, let's go on this side so we don't get caught up by the header. Climb up, lower our header, and boom. So I'm curious to see how much is in here. So we got just over 500,000 liters. So we'll see, curiosity wise, how much beetroot we have in these piles. I'll see you as we're getting closer to the end. Alright, so we're almost done with the second pile. One thing that I've noticed, that even though these piles are they're longer, like these two, they don't have as much as the ones on the other field. So what I must have done on the other field is I must have done them a lot wider, not just longer like this one. It's surprising because, as you saw, this pile here that we are currently taking care of, I honestly expected to be close to 1,000,000 liters, and I don't think it will be. I don't think it'd actually be much bigger than the, almost just over half a pile that we had next to it. Which to me, to be really honest, it is kind of surprising, and I will show you in a minute how small or big it is. Okay, let him empty it all out. Boom, that's the end of the second pile, I could call it. Let's lift the head up and put you a little bit higher because I don't want to damage my tractor. Okay, and let's place you over here. Head down. And let's put you as forward as humanly possible, and that way I can put my tractor as close as forward as possible. Okay, that's about the size of it. So let's have a look. What do we have? So we have 1.2 million. So I was right. That's 700. That's 700,000. But still, like, it to me, I honestly would have expected that. Like I said, 750,000 liters, but I kind of said that really expecting it to be, 1,000,000 liters, and on this comparing to the size of it, if that makes sense. So it kind of surprises me that this, when I put these rows on, obviously. So I got 1.2 million. Curious to see how big these ones are. Okay, come on, get in there properly. I honestly did expect it to be a lot bigger than that, I'll be honest with you. Because on the top field where we had our other pile, I got a lot more out of it. A lot, not just a little bit more, a lot more out of it, which really, really surprises me. Anyway, we'll keep going and see what happens. Okay, so we're down to our last little bit. Okay, this took in real life over an hour to do, so I won't be doing this one again, I promise you that. Okay, so before I reveal how much, let's return this machine so I don't have to pay more for it than I absolutely have to. So keep in mind that we got what, 530,000 liters of that first beet one, which wasn't full, and about 710, so we're 1.2 million on the second one. Now let's see how much we got off the third one. So 1.2, so about 700,000 liters off the third one. It really does surprise me, honestly. I didn't if you would have told me that I'm not going to get to 2 million liters of those three, I would have said, nah, no way. I definitely will get over it. And I was going to go and sell it, but the price has dropped even at the train station, so we can't really go and sell it. It's dropped by about $300 per liter. So we're going to lose close to $600,000 here. So we are definitely not going to sell right now. I own this trailer. I bought it outright. As you can see, massively unrealistic capacity. If you're after any mods that are unrealistic, this is the guide to get them from Papa Smurf. So he has mods that are very, very, very 16 meters, highly unrealistic. And this is the one that I got. I thought it was 1 million, but I realized it was 10 million liters. You can see you can put everything into it. Now, I know that some people massively no when it comes to unrealistic mods. They take this game to be farming simulator in the sense that you know, everything has to be realistic, which again, I've got no complaints, that's fine. I've got no problems with that. If some people really take it to the point where they would do their best to be as if they're a farmer themselves somewhere in the world, and you know, that's how realistic they want to play this game, which is fine. I am somewhere in the middle where I don't mind some of the unrealistic mods, like a trailer like this. To me, it doesn't really bother me, and I'll explain, and maybe I've done it in the past, I explained the why, purely on the basis that you can imagine it took an hour and about 10 minutes in real life to where's my sprayer? An hour and 10 minutes in real life to just fill up that trailer. Now, if I had let's say 2 million liters, the biggest trailer that I have is 100,000, so that would have been 20 trips to either store it and whatever, and then going back. So all of a sudden, the hour that I stood here in front of this computer to, I still can't remember what I've done with my sprayer. An hour and about 10 minutes that I stood here to do this would have ended up being 2 and a bit hours, just to put the bitrate in storage. Now, that I've got no issues with people that have that kind of time to say, hey, I've got, let's see what I have in my spreader over there. That, hey, I've got, I don't care, 2.5 hours to just sit there and do that. You know, it's fine, it's good. But to me, once you get to fertilizer, that's good. Once you get to the really big, really big maps, you know, unless you somehow happen to have a humongous amount of, that's very realistic, you went straight next to it. Unless you happen to have a lot of time on your hands, you're not really going to be able to play this game 100% realistic. It's just not possible at all. And me, I don't like to play this game in, let's have a look which field I have to, you know, in the sense of just doing one job per episode. As you can see, I do watch other YouTubers, and what they do is they just simply do one thing per episode, which again, I'm not criticizing, that's the way they do it. But now, since I started to do YouTube, I started to see one thing, is that you have two options. You play the game that you still enjoy, or you simply play the game to do content. Now, if you play the game just to do content, you then do certain things, like I would be doing, you know, fertilizing right now, and that's it type of thing. Maybe a little bit of driving around and other things, and that would be my episode. Now, I don't really like that because I want to play the game to create content as best as I can that is enjoyable to you guys, but at the same time for me to enjoy the game as well. And this is why I do use workers. This is why I do use courseplay. This is why I try to have a bit of a variation in my content that I put out, that it has a little bit of everything. And every now and then, especially when something comes up and somebody asks something or somebody sends me a message, I'm happy to talk to you guys a little bit about God and how God and what God does in our lives, and why Jesus died for our sins, and how we can have eternal salvation through Him. So I'm happy to sort of do a little bit of game things where we're trying to be as realistic as I can. I shouldn't say possible, because you can be a lot more realistic than possible than what I can, than what I play. And talk a little bit about the the limitations or what this game offers as far as enjoyment, but at the same time, every now and then, talk about some real life issues that we all have to face up to, whether we like it or not, at one stage or other in our lives. We all have to make choices for our lives. We all know that our life is not eternal on this earth, so we all have to choose our eternity, if I could sort of put it like that. And I'm happy to share with you guys every now and then my thoughts and the biblical thoughts on that side of things as well. So I look forward to reading your comments. Maybe you have some questions, maybe you have some comments that you'd like to make. Please keep them civil. Don't insult me or each other. Well, you can insult me, I suppose. It doesn't bother me, but don't insult. If you've got the old thing, if you've got nothing worth saying, just better off not saying it. Anyway, so we'll fertilize this. I'll just make sure that oh yes. So just thinking I'm fertilizing it, but I don't know if it actually works. So I'll let this guy fertilize. You know what? He always does that. Now, if someone could tell me why that happens, I would be fantastic. I would be, it would be awesome. Why? I seem to always have this on this field. He fertilizes up and down and then stops, up and down and then stops. Maybe it's going too far out of field and it's not comprehending that it still works. I'm not quite sure how long this episode is, but I believe we'll probably leave it here because I don't want the episode to have a lot of time lapse. I will obviously let this worker do the work, and I'll have to supervise him because he'll stop again. So thank you very much for your support. If you choose to leave some comments, I'll look forward to reading them. And as always, have a wonderful day wherever you are around the world. God bless you and your family, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.